Okay, let's go.
He wants to jump
1,000 cars. Sir, you have 1,000 cars.
I don't think I'd attempt to try this stunt.
Or we owe this horsepower to Uncle Sam.
Too many cars.
Car.
Roses would be.
Like I put my beer belly on it.
If you can't immediately tell somebody how many cars you have.
You'll really give those uppity yuppies something to think about.
Stay on the bar. Don't go off the bar with your Bronco.
1980 Volvo horns, what's right? I want to have a man's coolant.
And he's like, oh, I thought it'd be small. It's for a small car. And I'm like, yeah, but it's still an automatic transmission. They're never going to be light.
It's definitely going to have to crash.
Starting off with Brad buying another car.
That's the West. Internet.
You know, is this a Nigerian oil print?
I also wish you drove a tan Camry.
Anyways,
Anyway,
that's a
horrible,
very
horrible podcast content.
very
Talking about a picture.
inside joke.
It loves to be driven hard.
Welcome to Off Topic. What's up, Brad?
Evening, Andrew. How are you this evening?
I'm doing pretty good, actually. Doing pretty good.
It is
Considering.
the last evening before Friday. And then...
It's usually Thursdays.
Yes, then I will be on an airplane headed your direction. So
All right. Thanks for the warning.
Two trips early this summer. But
Yeah. People liked in-person recording so much, so we're just going to do that.
yeah, right. That's exactly the reason for it. We always promised we would never do a Patreon, but I mean, if you want me to fly back and forth to record, we're going to have to figure something out.
Yeah.
'Cause, I am out of points now. So,
Well, if you do enough more and people are paying for it, eventually it'll just be points and it'll be like nothing. It'll be free.
sure. Listen, I'd come a lot more if it didn't cost
And
anything.
we'll just write it off, Just write it
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, that's how taxes work. I think. I don't know. We're not making any money, so I guess it's a loss, right? You got to have a loss to write it off.
Yeah, exactly. We just
Hey.
keep taking losses.
I'm in. We've been taking a loss for 10 years almost.
Yeah. Speaking of taking loss, I think I talked about I bought 4 new Michelins for the Volkswagen
Yeah.
like 4 weeks ago, maybe tops. I come out of work last night, right rear. Well, I didn't even see it because it's on the opposite side of the driver's side. And I get in the car, I drive out of the parking lot. Ding, tire light comes on. Like, okay, it's probably a problem because it usually doesn't just come on randomly. So I turn around, go back in the parking lot. First 3 tires I look at, no big deal. I get to the back right rear, screw in the top and straight out the sidewall. Like,
Sweet.
not even, like, not center of the tire where you could just plug it and you'd be fine. Nope, just completely destroyed a tire with less than 1,000 miles on it.
That is efficiency.
Yeah. Luckily now, I never used to buy it, and now Tire Rack just includes Road Hazard on all their passenger car tire sales. They just
Yeah,
give
my
it to you.
guess is it's something to do with them combining with Discount Tire.
Yeah, I
Because
didn't
Discount
realize.
Tire has always done Road Hazard. I mean,
Yeah.
it's an extra charge, but it sounds like Tire Rack might be building that in. Maybe, hopefully,
Probably
Discount will start doing that too.
although in like 3 weeks the tire went up $20, which is kind of annoying.
That's weird.
Yeah,
Did you get
went
it
from
on a special
197.
deal?
I don't think so. It went from 197 to 209. So lost $20.
197 to 209 is not $20, but I'll let it slide.
Yeah, it is. Is it
It's
not?
$12.
All right, whatever. Close enough. Close enough.
Yeah, we round up to every 10, I guess,
Yeah,
around here.
whatever. Anyway,
Well, that sucks. Sorry to hear that.
I mean, it'll be covered. I just have to, and it was easy to put in the claim, and the tire's on its way. Unfortunately, I won't be able to have it installed till Monday, which is annoying. So and I don't feel like putting 4 snow tires back on the car because that is also annoying. And the weather is not conducive to having 4 snow tires in the car because it's too hot for them. But luckily, I've got 4 other cars. Except
Yeah.
Stephanie's car is also broken. It's drivable, but it's broken, so can't really go anywhere far in the 2 days. So from 1 daily to 0, or from 1 that was not working great to now 0.
We touched on the Subaru last week. Have you dug into that any deeper and figured out what is happening?
Yeah, so my dad and I were like back and forth. Maybe it's bearings, maybe it's the diff. It's gotten really, really, really loud, and I probably should have taken care of it last year, but I was kind of annoyed that we were busy with other stuff. And rightfully, Stephanie reminded me that she had a extended warranty last year, and now it's expired. So that's cool.
Oops.
Sorry, my voice it's dry. Anyway, I brought it to the dealer just as a sanity check. I think I talked about I was going to do that, so it went to the dealer. They diagnosed it that day. It was the TSB for not the diff oil, but for rear wheel bearings. Somehow the backing plates are installed incorrectly or something, and it makes the wheel bearings wear out. I don't know how. It feels weird. That's what the TSB says.
That sounds like not your fault, though.
It definitely does sound like not my fault, but that is not warranty. So, and we were out of extended warranty that we never ever made a claim against. So super annoying. And you and I both worked at dealerships for a long, long time. We know how it works. I know how the price markups work. I know we know everything. When I got the estimate, I was like, what the F? They wanted $2,000 to do the rear wheel bearings. Like, excuse me? So
Yeah, it seems like a lot of money.
So both rear wheel bearings, the backing plates, and then I did the rear brakes, I think, in 22. I'm going to have to go back and look because I actually made a video on it. And they told me the rear brakes are worn out. I was like, so I looked at them today through the wheels. I'm like, all right, they're kind of worn out, which is also insane. I think I've talked about this before. I feel like modern cars brake bias the rear a lot harder than they used to because I don't understand how the thing went through rear brakes that fast, like in 15, 20,000 miles, like it needs rear brakes again. Like, okay, it's kind of annoying, but whatever.
That seems fast. That seems very fast.
Because I turned off the hill hold because that was definitely dragging. Yeah, I don't know, and they don't seem like they're locked up or sticky. Yeah, it's very weird. But maybe because the bearings are out, maybe they're wobbling and they're hitting the pads. But there's no pulsation from the rear, so I'm not sure either about that. So whatever. I'll put new pads and rotors on. But on the estimate, on top of the bearing replacement, they want another $500 to do rear brakes. Excuse me?
Now you're at $2,500.
Yeah.
For brakes and bearings.
And then there was there's some rear control arm. They said the bushing looked not great. I'll check it out. That was like a couple $100 to replace. I'm not too worried about that. I'll look at it.
I mean, $500 for rear pads doesn't sound too terrible in
pads and
the
rotors.
grand scheme of things. If you figure, if pads and rotors $500, if you figure they're $200 an hour ish.
Okay.
And it's going to take them a couple hours. That's $400 in labor right there. So
take a guy an hour
$100 in parts
to do the rear axle brakes. It's flat rate.
Listen,
and
I'm not saying what it should take. I'm saying what book time is. Book time's probably 2 hours, probably an hour aside.
There's labor overlap for doing the rear bearings because you have to take all the brakes apart. You don't have to take the pads out technically, so you can charge me a quarter of an hour to do the pad swap, but you shouldn't charge me anything to take the rotors off because that's all in there. The only difference is there's a drum parking brake, and maybe that's what there's extra labor in taking that apart.
I guess I wasn't thinking of it as being part of the whole job. I was thinking of
Yeah.
it on its own. But what I can also say is that I have learned from working on the insurance side of things that most service writers don't know what overlap means. They just plug in the numbers from whatever motor guide they use, and they don't consider overlap. And I have to educate them every time that no, it's not.
Yeah, you're not double
2.5
dipping.
hours to do the strut, and 2.5 hours to do the knuckle, and 2.5 hours to do the bearing.
Yeah. Like, no. That's double dipping. And then I don't hear the heat shields rattling in this car at all. And they quoted me, they're like, all the heat shields are rattling. $900 to replace them all or remove them all. Like, okay.
That's excessive.
Yeah. So, and then, okay, the car's got 70,000 miles. I've never done the serpentine belt. Needs a serp belt. Fair. That was like $200 or something. And then, yeah, it's due for an air filter. I haven't done one probably this year. I definitely haven't done one this year. I usually do it like every 2 years. I check it. It's probably due for one. And yeah, it needs a cabin filter. Sure. I actually have one sitting here. I'm also not paying you $70 to do those because it will take me literally 2 minutes to do each. So, and you're probably like, well, why did you bring it? Well, I brought it to the dealer because I thought maybe I could get some goodwill out of them. But I sent an email to Subaru and nothing. So, I don't know. It's annoying because this is the only major problem we've had with the car and no support for them. So that's frustrating.
Yeah, it's not great, but this is why people buy new cars every 5 years, because you just got a $4,500 estimate to do what's essentially basic maintenance on a 5-year-old car.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, if I was not a car person and I didn't know any better and I had to fix the car, I'd be like, I'm not fixing that. I'm just gonna go buy a new car. Why would I put four or five grand in this car that's 5 years old? $70K.
Right, when it's a 1/5 of the value of a new Crosstrek.
Yeah. So they turn around and they'd fix it and sell it used at a huge markup, and I'd be out the door paying more car payments.
And they'd pay their internal labor at probably half what they're billing you out.
Yeah, they wouldn't do the used car manager would be like, I'm not doing heat shields on this thing. I'm not paying you for that. So whatever. Yeah, so I ordered, and whatever the matrix is on the parts, like that was not MSRP on the parts. So I looked up all the parts. Luckily, this Crosstrek was made in Japan, and they sold them in Japan. So you can actually go to the Auto Off Topic blog. I have a whole post about this, looking up parts for Japanese cars and getting them from overseas. I was able to get the rear wheel bearings for $88 a piece. And then with shipping, unfortunately shipping is expensive, but still 2 rear wheel bearings, parts, OEM parts, $300 shipped to my door. Because I'm sure, well, I looked it up. If I were to buy them online from the local dealership, which still gets a discount buying them online, they were $197 each. So it was like $350 or something to get ones stateside. So it was cheaper to buy them from overseas and have them shipped, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, yeah, because there's like more markup. The backing plates were annoying because those were like $50 each. I had to get them from a different website. So another bit of shipping, but also cheaper because they were like $95 a piece in the States, which is insane because they're just like pressed, stamped sheet metal.
Yeah, I guess when you think about it, you're getting them pretty much direct from manufacturer by buying them overseas, and you're cutting out, a warehouse middleman and a dealership middleman.
Yeah.
So there's 2 people there trying to make money on your part. So
So yeah, and brakes and stuff I'll buy locally from them, but whatever. Just another automotive side quest I've got to get done before or at the same time I'm trying to finish the Volvo. So waiting on those parts. And yeah. And then the annoying thing is that my mom's Outback, which has even less mileage, it's like 40,000 miles, started to make a rear noise too. And we're like, all right, what is that? But it definitely sounded more like a wheel bearing. And it definitely sounded from like one side. So, just to like confirm, because I looked up rear wheel bearings for the Outback, they're different. It's a different platform car. What do you think the rear wheel bearings are for the Outback? What do you think those cost?
So from the dealership or from your Japan
From
source?
the dealership.
Japan. Oh, probably $350 a side.
Yeah, I think so. I think MSRP was around 200 something. They're not. I tried to get them in Japan. They're not available in Japan because that car is built here in the U.S. So I don't think they have a lot of Outbacks actually in Japan because it's a giant car. I definitely saw Crosstreks over there because it's a small car. But to buy those online from the local dealership, those are $197 a piece. So annoying, but definitely cheaper than walking in off the street and trying to buy them because you'll pay probably $350 Matrix price.
Matrix price is the biggest bunk in the entire industry, and anybody who charges it to you and doesn't allow you to buy it at retail price is a complete.
It should be illegal. You
Jag
should only
off.
be able to charge MSRP, but
Yeah. Well, the crazy thing is that as a consumer, all these part numbers are available to research online. Like every car part, you can find out what the part true cost is, a true list price
Yep.
is. So you shouldn't be paying more than true list price, especially when you go to them and you're paying them for service. They shouldn't also be marking the parts up beyond what the true list price of the part is, because they're already making 40% or so on the part, and they mark it up another 20%. So it's absolute insanity.
But to definitely figure it out, I was kind of on the fence. My dad was like, I want to buy some chassis ears because he's never used them before. He likes buying tools. I was like, all right, knock yourself out. Buy them. Check them out. We'll use them. Because why not? They're kind of expensive, but it beats buying two wheel bearings you might not need. So,
Sure.
And doing all the work. So we tried them out tonight, and we tried them on my mom's car. And we'll try them on Stephanie's car too. But they basically have they're Bluetooth. They have these little transmitter units. They look like lav mic packs. Like you clip them to a belt, and then you put a microphone in. Kind of same idea. But they have basically not C clamps, like pinch clamps. I don't know what to call them. Spring clamps, jaw clamps, alligator clamps. That's what I want. Clipped them to the hub on either side. So basically they have channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, and these have channel 4. They have 4 channels. Then we clip the third channel up top of the differential just to make sure. And you get this transmitter unit or this receiver, and I'm driving down the road. My dad's got the receiver in his lap, and you can press the buttons, and it will flip from each channel and play it on the speaker. And sure enough, you play the driver's side one, it's like super, super loud, and as soon as you flip to the other channel on the passenger side, it gets really quiet. And then you flip to the diff, and it's still quiet. And you're like, well, that's definitely it. It's so obvious. It's like, it was really cool.
Interesting.
Yeah. And you could kind of hear the noise on the passenger side channel, like whatever's traveling through the subframe, but it was so clear. And there's if you join our Discord, I put the video up, you can hear the difference. You can hear a switch from left side to right side. So pretty interesting.
So only one side wheel bearing is making noise?
Yes, but we'll just do both because
Yeah, I mean,
you might as well make them even. I don't know. It's like he was saying, my dad was saying, like, I don't really want to do it. He's like, I really don't want to do this again. Like, let's just do it both now, and then we have to think about it. So
Now, for the price these wheel bearings are, I assume that they are a bolt-on assembly. You don't have to press them in.
They are. They're bolt on. So that's the other thing I didn't get to. Now, you've got this TSB from Subaru for the Crosstrek. And I went on the forums, and a lot of people are complaining of this. You would think that there would be a warranty extension on just those parts, because it certainly sounds like they were installed correctly at the factory. Because how can the backing plates make the wheel bearings go bad?
The only way I can think of that is if there's a seal on the backing plate that, if it's installed the wrong way, doesn't seal up and allows material to get inside the wheel bearings.
Yeah, I don't know. The description is like, it makes them not concentric. And I'm like, okay. And it's like an assembly error. And you're like, well, where was it assembled? At your factory. I haven't touched these.
Right. Yeah. When I promised to pay you $28,000 for this vehicle, I assumed you put it together right.
Yeah. So, whatever.
Yeah, that's absolutely frustrating.
Because it's literally the only problem we've had. It's like, but so other stuff. I fixed the engine mount. I got that from Japan for the G20. I swapped that over. That was actually really easy to do. So that's all good. You know that squeaking noise?
I was going to say, inquiring minds want to know, did it solve the
It did
squeaking
not.
noise? Okay.
I took the strut bar off to make sure it wasn't that cable rubbing on it. It still makes it. I think it's the it does it kind of when it's cold. I think it's the throw-up bearing, because it happens when you're coming off.
I was just going to say, I think it's a throw-out bearing.
What happens when you're coming off the clutch, and then it, like, the car gets warm and it goes away. So I haven't been I'm like, no, not super concerned about it. And the car's probably going to need a clutch in, 10,000 miles or so.
There are some cars that make throw-out bearing noises for the entire life you own the car. So I don't really get concerned about throw-out bearing noises until they get really, really, really bad.
It's a minor squeak.
Like most cars, you can push the clutch in, the bearing noise goes away, let it out in neutral, the bearing noise comes back, or vice versa. And I have one car that I've owned my entire life that's made a throw-out bearing noise for that entire time, and it's never gone beyond just making a little noise. So
yeah,
it is what it is. I'm not going to worry about it.
Yeah, I'm not going to worry about it. I'll eventually it'll need a clutch. So whatever. Coolant lines for the throttle body and the Montero, swap those over. All good to go. So at least those two cars are back up, running. It's just the daily drivers that decided to crap out on me.
I was going to say, you had a hell of a week, but then I remembered we didn't record last week, so it's 2 weeks worth of stuff. But still, that's a good amount of stuff.
Yep. And I got zero progress on the Volvo because of all these. I've ruined 2 steering arm bushings, so I'm going to try a third one.
I don't understand that either. I haven't looked closely at what you're doing, but it seems odd for sure.
I'm going to try the one from VP Auto Parts next, because that looks more like the original that came out than the 2 I got from Rock Auto that seem to not fit that well. So
I wonder if Rock Auto's listing is wrong.
Doesn't seem like it. I think it's just a cheaply made part, I think. I don't know.
Good times.
The stuff from VP I've had has been really good. They say that they make a lot of their own tooling because they want to make restoration parts for Volvos. So far I've had really good luck with them.
Are they a Swedish company?
They have, yeah, it seems like they've got a U.S. headquarters and then stuff in Sweden. So it seems like they're real enthusiasts for these cars and they like to keep them running. So I'd recommend them if you need Volvo parts. Go to VP Auto Parts. They've been really good to me.
Well, the only 2 Swedish companies I'm really familiar with are Volvo and Lego, and they both make good products. So
yeah, but hopefully, ideally, since you're coming out here, we'll get that car on the lift and get the engine in it.
Yeah, we should have a lot of progress updates between that and my yellow Colt.
It might not run, but the goal is to at least get the engine and transmission in the car so that more progress can be made.
Right. Well, my goal is to have the yellow Colt in some sort of running state. If it's possible for the car to run, I don't see why we won't have it in a running state before I leave. If it's impossible to make the car run with current engine, then we'll cross that
This
bridge.
is the Colt we're talking about. No, we're not talking about the Volvo.
The yellow Colt. Yeah. No, not the Volvo. Yeah, the yellow Colt. That's my goal for coming out there. It's the reason I'm coming out there. I'm coming out there for that, and because my father has his Mistlewood Concord Elegance.
Yes.
Which I have not been to for a few years, so I figured I could time everything together and make it work. I would try to do that, and I managed to pull it off. So
And we're judging.
Flying in
You and I both are judging. So.
Yes, we're very good at being judgmental.
Yes,
so that
exactly.
Works out well.
I don't know. These bolts don't look correct
Strong.
for this 1936. Whatever.
Who's what's it? We have very strong opinions on our concourse
You
cars
sure
to
that's the
judge,
correct
so.
shade of red? We'll never know because there's only black and white photos.
The good news is we don't need to know that stuff to be a concourse
Nope.
judge because it's not as
not. I'm
strict
joking.
on that. It's not like concourse judging is not like 100-point Corvette judging where you need to have the correct date mark on your belt and your bolts need to be orientated exactly as they would have been from the factory. So it's not like that.
No, it's more like cleanliness of how your car is put together.
Yeah, presentation, cleanliness, and ultimately some little bit of personal choice in there.
And provenance, I think, too, sometimes feeds into it.
Yes. Yep. That's up there. If it's an important car, or it's a original car, or something's not restored because of history of that part, then that adds to the car as well.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. That's fun.
It'll be interesting.
Different.
Yeah, is it your first time doing it? Or have you done it
I've
before?
never done it. No, not a concourse. I mean, they let us do it as teenagers or like tweens at the North Shore Car Club, old car show they used to have.
Sure. Yeah. I've done it a few times at the concourse. It's fun. You take it serious, but not too serious, and you enjoy it and have a good time. So, as long as I don't have to judge new exotics, I'll be fine.
Yeah. All right, so that's all
New
my
exotics. Every car loses.
yeah. The carbon weave. I don't know about that. Anyway, yeah. Is that
What won the exotic class? The blade of grass in front of the car won the exotic
is
class.
that the correct ceramic coat on that? Anyway,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. So that's all my project car stuff and my plans, and I'm definitely gonna help you with that Colt as best we can. But what else? I think you got some other stuff going on, right?
Yeah. Anybody who is in the Discord is like, how have they gone this long without mentioning the newness? Cue the start of the podcast again. Play the intro. Sir, I have now 1,001 cars, apparently. Because I may have bought yet another car. Now, don't yell at me.
You didn't
This
may.
is
You own it.
No, I did. I 100% own it. Yeah. Listen, I was teasing it, and you're just letting it go. Like you gotta. It's all right. Yes, I bought a car. Round about 2 years ago, when we decided we were going to build the garage, I said, "Okay, I will not buy any more cars until we have finished the garage and paid off some of the superfluous stuff with the garage. Most importantly, the doors, because they were paid separately from the garage. And until I sold at least a car or two. But I put a caveat in that, and I said, unless I find a really cheap 4x4, as long as that really cheap 4x4 is a Dodge Raider, Mitsubishi Montero, Mighty Max, or Dodge Ram 50.
And
we all know that happened back in September.
Oh, the universe delivered.
Oh, 100% delivered. It was like, I'm only going to buy it if this car shows up. Now, there were two cars that I said. And when I bought that Ram, I was like, well, I'm sorry, I have to buy it because it's the car I've wanted. I need to get this thing. I've been looking for a 4x4 Mighty Max first gen for, 15, 20 years. So we bought it. The other car I said I'll only buy if it comes up is a flat body Starion. Now, here's the story. You know, and probably everybody listening knows, that I have a flat body Starion. Well, now I have two, but previously I had one. And I've had that car for, I was thinking, Andrew, I think it was 2009.
2009,
right?
yep.
So 16 years I've had the
Yep.
car, which is a long time. I haven't really driven it too much because it had an unfortunate incident back in 2012 or so. And it just was one of those, it moved around from job to job. It got moved around from living space to living space. Finally, I was like, I'm going to ship the car to Phoenix, and I'm kind of going to put it aside. Maybe I'll use it a little here and there. But what I want to do is, because it has a really nice interior, and it has a really good engine, and it has all of the good limited slip differential and everything, I want to find a solid, straight desert car that may or may not need, all of the soft parts that my car has that are good. So I can take two cars and buy one. And I said I'd really like it to be a Starion, not a Conquest, because I wanted to have the correct Starion VIN and be a Mitsubishi, because my car is. And I really would ideally want a white one, but if it wasn't white, I was like, whatever, it'll be stripped to a shell anyway. I can paint it before I put all the new parts on it. So,
Odds of finding this car, unlikely.
ridiculous. So fast forward to February of 2023. We're going from the original purchase of the old Starion in 2009 to 2023. A listener of the show, friend of mine from the internet, don't know him personally. He lives in Oregon. He has a Sapporo similar to mine. He has a love for old Mitsubishis. Reached out to me and was like, hey man, there's a flat body Starion in Globe. You should probably go check it out. I don't think it's moved for a couple of years. So I said, cool, I'll have to go look for that. And then he sent me an exact address. And I was like, cool, next time I'm in Globe, I'll go check it out. And then life happened, and I never got... Globe's not like conveniently around the corner. It's way east of here. It's a mining town. There's nothing really there other than people that work in the mines and the businesses that support the people that work in the mines. It's like mines, a Walmart, Taco Bell, and a Fry's. A couple of gas
I
stations.
never even heard of it.
Sure, it's on the 60. It's I may be underselling it a little bit. Like, if there's more to it than that, but not a lot. That's for somebody who lives down in the Phoenix, us Flatlanders. We don't know anything about what goes out up there in the hills. So I never got up there to look at it. Kind of forgot about it. I wasn't really looking yet at that time for a shell, just because I had so much other stuff going on. Fast forward more from February 23 until literally 4 days ago. What day is today? Thursday. So 5 days ago, Sunday, I get a Facebook message from former guest of the show and good friend of mine, Josh from Adventure Driven Design, Montero Josh. And it's a white Starion, white, flat body Starion for sale in Payson, Arizona, in the listing. So I'm like, well, Payson's kind of deep. I'm only here for a few more days. I'm flying to Boston. Maybe if the thing's still available when I get back, I'll look into seeing what it is. I don't want to jump on this thing and get too excited. But I want to message the guy anyway, just to let him know that I'm, interested in the car. So I messaged on Sunday, hey, I collect vintage Mitsubishis. I'm interested in the car. If it's available, let me know. Please, could you let me know if it truly is an automatic, because the listing said automatic. And if it's an automatic, I'm less interested, but I'm still possibly interested because it requires some firewall modifications to change to a 5-speed. Not the end of the world. Different trans tunnels. The pedals are a little funky. A little less space for your feet because the automatic trans is a much wider unit. It's got a whole different floor pan and a whole different firewall. I don't hear anything from him. Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday morning, he messages me back. Hey, I have like 30 messages from people on this thing. He's like, some guy was supposed to buy it last weekend. He never showed up. I still have it available. You're the only person I'm contacting from the list because the only person who actually showed like genuine interest. Are you interested in the car? And I said to him, message back, I was like, is it a manual? He goes, I don't know.
Okay.
And I went, okay. So he says, hey, can you give me your phone number? I don't like doing the text messaging thing. So I was like, okay, probably an older person, so it's fine. So he calls me. I text him my phone number. He gave me his phone number. I text him my number, expecting to have a texting conversation. He calls me. Fine.
Yep.
He goes, listen. He goes, I don't know a lot about the car. He's like, I haven't looked closely at it in a very long time. He goes, it belonged to a family friend who unfortunately passed away. The son has the car at the house, same house where it's been, but the son can't keep a phone, has some mental health issues and some substance abuse issues, and he really can't handle this. So I'm handling the deal for the son. That's why I don't know anything about the car. I was like, okay,
Fair.
that checks out. I was like, so where is the car? He goes, it's in Globe. And I went, oh, it's not in Payson. He goes, no, I live in Payson. So I think maybe wherever he was, wherever it was listed.
While you were
Payson,
talking
not
about
Globe.
this, I just looked up. Those are not close to each other. I just looked them up on Google Maps.
They're nowhere near each other. And Payson's a much deeper drive for me, too. Globe's 2 hours each way.
Whoa. Yeah, that's far. But Payson
It's
is
far.
up.
Payson's even
It's like
further.
halfway to Sedona. So from
Payson's
Phoenix.
even further.
Hmm.
Yep. So anyway, they're nowhere near each other. But so it's listed in Payson. I'm not jazzed on driving to Payson, especially because I only have like I said, I'm flying out on. And at the time, I thought I was flying out tonight. I screwed it up in my brain. I'm actually flying out tomorrow night. But I was like, yeah, the only issue is, sir, is that I'm leaving for a week for this weekend. So, I'd be willing to come and look at it. Maybe I can give you a deposit, take the title. I'll come back and get it when I come back. And he's like, okay, sure. He's like, but let me go look at the car. I said, sure. Give me some more pictures. Take a picture of the interior so I can see the condition of the interior, because the pictures in the Facebook ad were just 4 exterior pictures, none of them showing the whole car. Like, you never know with these things. It's sitting next to a house. It's all overgrown. It's clearly been sitting for a long time. The plates expired in 23. So I get a text message from him later that day with the pictures. He's like, what did you want pictures of? And I was like, well, is it a automatic? He's like, nope, sir. It's got 3 pedals. I was like, cool. So he sent me a picture of the pedals. And I was like, no, that's not okay.
All right, close.
Sure. Close enough. So I made a picture of the pedals. A picture of the sill plate, but not the seats, so I couldn't see the interior of the dash. I was like, okay, whatever. Again, at this point, I'm not concerned because all I care about is the shell. And he sends me a picture of the right rear wheel. Okay. But I can see the quarter panel's not rusted. I can see the rockers aren't terribly rusted from the outside. I'm like, all right, it looks like a half-decent shell. I don't really care about the interior. I'm going to buy the car either way because I have the rusty car here with that really nice tan interior I could swap everything over into. So, if you remember the story, and I'm sure you do because you were there, when we bought the 84 Starion, the first one, we bought it from the original owner.
Yes.
This car
Yep.
was in the possession of the son of the original owner. This car's only ever had one owner in its life.
Okay.
So, he's going back and forth, and he says, do you think you can come up here tomorrow? And I was like, probably. I said, you know what? Let me see if I can wrangle up a trailer and a truck to get up there and get it. So I reached out to a couple of friends and to Naomi's son, Jordan. And he's like, yeah, we have that Escalade. He just picked up this like 08 or 09 Escalade for his wife, which, I mean, it's a 6.2 liter LS based engine.
It'll tow it.
That'll tow. Absolutely.
A full frame.
So he's like, yeah, we get that Escalade. Come on, come grab that. It's totally legit for towing that. And I was like, rad. So the night before we went and got that, I reserved a trailer at U-Haul, went at my lunchtime to pick up the trailer, parked it in front of the house, took off from work, met Ron, another former guest of the show and good friend of mine.
Always
halfway.
Always down to get old cars.
He is always down for getting an old car adventure, and he's like the time to do some sketchy shit whisperer. Like he has the brain to do the sketchy things to get cars on trailers that shouldn't be on trailers. So we go up there. Guy's like, I only have like an hour window. I'm like, well, I'm gonna do my best. Like I'm gonna leave work. I can't promise traffic. I'll do my best to get there in your hour window. So we get up there. Escalade runs great up and down. There's mountains. We gotta go up and down to get there. I don't know if you've been in like that generation suburban Escalade GMC. The air conditioning is like icicles.
Yeah.
It is so cold. It was so nice.
Yeah, there's a reason why people love them.
My brand new Camry is probably 15 degrees warmer inside. This thing was like, it had to turn it down. It was so cold, so good. And actually, it seemed to get decent fuel mileage too, considering I was towing a trailer. I probably got, I'd guess, like 15 or so, because I didn't even use a full tank going back and forth. So anyway, show up. This car is on like, it's like San Francisco, this part of globe. The hills are ridiculous grades. And I'm like, great, this is going to be fun. Thankfully, Globe is also a sleepy town. So when I blocked 3/4 of the street for hours, nobody was really mad about it. Go look at the car, walk up to the car. It's got a smashed passenger side window, which I knew. And again, I figured that meant the interior was roached. Ron and I are walking around his car, and we're going, how is this possible? This doesn't make any sense. I'm getting like chills now just thinking about that moment walking up to this car. I went there expecting to buy a parts car. That I was going to like take all parts off my car and put on this car. Andrew, you've seen pictures now.
Yeah.
Before I've even cleaned it. This thing is mint.
Aside from, I think it's like equal to the truck, other than the truck having pack rat stuff in it.
No, it's not equal to the
Nicer?
truck because the truck's interior is roached.
Oh, okay.
The truck's interior is roached. That's why I have seat covers on and a dash cover. The truck is smashed in the left front. The fender's all screwed up and the bumper's screwed up and it was missing a grill. This thing is absolutely immaculate. It's
weird.
And also the paint on the truck was all white chalky grossness. This paint's still glossy. Paint's glossy. Interior is solid. There's not a tear in the seat. There's not a crack in the dash.
I don't think it was outside for very long.
It's been outside its entire life.
Weird.
If you go on Google Street View
Yeah.
and you go back in time with the car, it's always in the yard, sometimes covered, sometimes not covered. It's a grass driveway, no pavement. There's a old late 60s, early 70s boat in front of it and a Silverado in front of that from like 84. It's just it belies all sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. The car is, for an 84 Starion that's been sitting outdoors its entire life, it is immaculate. So I meet the guy. He tells me a story, what's going on with the son of the owner, and tells me he's like, he's not this and this and the other thing. And it's like, all right, well, whatever, we'll figure this out. Car has one spare tire on the right front. The factory wheels in the hatch. I open the hatch. It still has the sunshade over the cargo area that none of these cars have anymore. Mine doesn't even have that. The tire is in there. The two back tires are just off the wheels, basically, just flat. But we go to push the car, see if we can roll it. We can't move this thing at all. Like, great, this is going to be an adventure. So then the son comes out of the house, and he's interesting. He's lived there his whole life. He brings me the title. The title is dated 86.
Yeah.
The only reason it's not the original title is because the title he got when he paid off the loan.
Oh, okay.
So the original title would be in the bank's
Yep.
name. I have the title from 86 when he paid it off.
Oh.
Car had 32,000 miles on it in 86. The car has 92,000 miles on it now.
Wow.
Yeah. So he hands me the title. I've never seen an Arizona title from 1986 before. It's tiny.
Yeah.
But I have the original title. He goes back inside. He comes back out, and he hands me a postcard. It's a made by Mitsubishi postcard, never filled out, with an 87 wide body Starion on it in Palermo gray, which is the weird like beigey silver color, kind of like your
I know
Talon.
what it is.
It's Ron's car, basically.
Yep. Weird.
Ron's there.
Yeah,
with me.
weird.
And I was like, all right, Ron, you can have this. Like, this is for your collection of stuff in your garage.
It's weird how this works out.
It's all so strange. So the guy comes out, and he's the son of the original owner. I'd guess he's probably 60. He's clearly had some stories in his life. Like I said, he's had some mental health issues, substance abuse issues. So he's a
Got some miles
character.
on him.
He's got some miles on him. Unlike the car, he has some miles on him. He comes out and he starts telling stories about how he had a 68 Roadrunner, and he always never could believe it because his dad could keep up to like 30 miles an hour. He's like, the car was so quick. He's like, I don't understand. He's like just typical, older guy, reliving his youth and stories. But whatever, I let him talk, and it's fine. He's telling me that the tires kept going flat, so his dad put tubes in them, and I was like, that's weird. Okay, well, I'm not going to worry about it because I'm going to change these tires anyway. So, now Ron and I are walking around trying to figure out how we're going to get this in the trailer. We brought a come along. And the problem with the come along is that the cables aren't very long. So, at first, we're like, well, we can use the chain on the trailer to hook it to the chain, use the come along, and like do it in stages as we go along. We did it one time that way, but the whole time I was like, this is sketchy because I don't think this chain is really rated for pulling a car, especially a car with flat tires that's questionably rolling. Like we're dragging this thing basically. I don't want to like lose my limb trying to put this thing on the trailer. So then the dude goes, I got this anchor over here. Excuse me? And he goes over and he goes, yeah. He goes, every time I hang up plants, they die. So I just hung up this anchor instead.
Okay.
Like, okay. He's like, yeah, I can't kill an anchor. I was like, you're right. You can't kill an anchor. So the anchor has this like industrial huge chain on it. Like this chain is clearly rated for a boat much bigger than the 14-footer in the yard.
Again, this Arizona thing with boats. So many boats in Arizona.
So many boats in Arizona, and there's definitely no water in Globe. So I climb up on the wall of his like porch, and I pull down this anchor, and we hook the anchor to the front of the trailer, and then hook the come along to the chain on the anchor. And same thing, we keep going, we're pulling it up and down, pulling it up, pulling it up, pulling it up. And the guy goes, I got a couple more come alongs, would that help? And we're like, yeah, 100%. Why are we using this anchor? So he goes up back and he brings out some come alongs. So now we have two come alongs, so we have longer cable. And we hook the come along to the front of the trailer and we winch it up the trailer the rest of the way. Now, I will say I knew the car had flat tires. And I didn't bring a compressor with me because the middleman of the sale, the guy who was putting it all together, said, don't worry about everything. We got a compressor up here. We can fill the tires and be good to go. I was like, cool. I won't worry about it then. And then I get there and the guy's like, oh man, I didn't realize it's an old belt drive compressor. It hasn't been fired up in probably 20 years. It doesn't work. I was like, okay. Well, that would have been nice to know before I drove up here. But nonetheless, a lot of struggling, swearing, laughing, trying not to die. Because anytime we had to reset the come along, we had to like chalk the car because there's no way to hold it in place in the trailer. And because it had two flat tires, putting it in gear and pulling the e-brake up would stop the wheels from rolling, but the car would just slide down the trailer because the front wheels were rolling. And it would just slide the back tires because there's no life left in them. So we did use the anchor to chalk the rear tire at one point, and then the guy had like some landscaping rocks that we used to chalk the wheels, and I had to get in the car whenever Ron released the come along to set it to its next position because we were afraid it was going to take off, and because despite how hard it was to put it on the trailer, there was enough of an angle and enough of a hill that it would have taken off and crashed into the boat or the wall. And we didn't want to do that. So it was a bit of a scene. I showed you a picture earlier of the borrowed Escalade ESV, which is the long one, and the trailer blocking the street, sitting at a 45-degree angle because they're sideways across the hill, and then the car is down another hill into the driveway, and we're trying to pull it up like a 35-degree angle up the trailer. So it was a thing. We were there probably 2 hours just winching this thing onto the trailer. But we got it up there and kept going over the whole thing, looked at all the whole car. Like I said, the interior, headliner's mint, not a tear in the seats, not a crack in the dash, radio's complete, center console's complete, car's empty. It's never been like smoked in, doesn't smell bad. When the window got smashed, the way the driveway situation is there, it's like an elevated street next to it. Somebody threw something in the yard and it smashed the window, and they went right outside and taped the window up right immediately, so it never got weather inside. I mean, supposedly the guy passed away Christmas Eve last year, and it was not registered after 23 because the guy couldn't drive anymore, but he'd still go out and keep the battery charged and start the car once a month. So I'm looking at the title, and the address in the title is the address we're at.
Interesting.
So the car's never left this yard when it wasn't being driven, obviously, for what's 84 now, 41 years.
Yes. Thank you.
So pretty wild. Yeah. Oh yeah, Andrew, you're 41. That's right too, or almost anyway.
Very close.
You're catching up to me. But yeah, so it's a 1984 Mitsubishi Starion LE. My other car, it was at 92,000 miles. It's white, just like my car, which is wild. The difference is it's an LE with a red leather interior, and my car is an ES with the two-tone brown leather interior. It's got a digital dashboard, which is cool,
super
but
rare.
also like it's super rare, but also I don't love it.
It's cool though.
So
It's really cool.
it's very cool. But here's the thing. My whole dream with the Starion was to replicate my old car, but make it nice.
Well,
which includes the two-tone brown and tan interior, which I love. I also have a set of Recaro S something, whatever the 80s Recaros are, that they make covers that are in a brown and tan two-tone that would match the factory interior if I use the brown and tan.
I think you should just keep it maroon. The car's too original.
It's very original, but here's also what I was looking at. So there's 3 trim levels. There's LS, LE, and ES in 84. ES is the top of the line, LS is the middle, and LE is the base car. So, no, LS is the base car, LE is the middle. This car's an LE. I'm confusing it now, and I apologize because the letters do. I know ES is the top of the line. ES stood for Eurosport. That's my old car was.
It's just interesting because your car had every option but the digital dash, I think.
Correct. So in doing some research, you couldn't get a digital dash in an ES. ES was the more sporty version. So ES took away the 8-speaker sound system with the fancy computer-looking controls. It took away the digital dash, and it got you the two-tone brown interior as an option. The two-tone brown wasn't available at any other level car. And it added rear-wheel ABS, which, whatever, it's not that great in 2025. It added 15-inch wheels instead of 14s. It added that cool trip computer that my old car has, which does the lap timer and the fuel mileage and all that stuff. And it added a limited slip rear. So that's the ES. The ES had all those sport package options, but it took away the digital dash because it was not as accurate as the proper rev counter.
Yeah.
So the mid-range one, this one here, which is the L... Now I'm annoyed because I can't remember if it's LS or LE. L whatever. LE is what this car is. It was the luxury version of it, which was the leather interior, the power windows, the cruise control, and the digital dash, the 8-speaker stereo system with this like very 80s looking faceplate. So they're both cool in their own right. I can make 2 out of 1 car here. So I think obviously the thing to do would be to take the limited slip out of the rusty car and put it in this car, because that's a huge performance upgrade.
Yeah.
But I'm unclear on if I want to change the interior over or not.
I wouldn't.
They're both in very similar condition, and I love the two-tone brown.
I wouldn't. Car's too original. The story's too cool. Leave it.
The story's cool either way.
No, it's cooler.
I really hope they're two-tone brown.
No, leave the maroon. Don't make extra work for yourself. Just clean it and use it. And just
It's ruining all
just
my
save
plans.
just save it. It doesn't hurt to save it.
No, I'm gonna save the old interior for the tan
Yeah,
interior, no matter
so-
what. Whichever interior doesn't go in the car is going to get saved and put in
Yeah, there's
storage
no-
in a nice place.
There's no like you gotta put the brown in or else we have to throw it away next week. It's not. You can just save it.
No, I know. It's only because I've had this vision in my head for years of how I wanted the car to be. I wanted the two-tone brown. I wanted the car lowered over the Watanabes that I have on the
Still do
Sapporo.
that.
I initially bought those for a Starion. So I bought them for the white Starion. They're going to go on the car. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But at the very least, I want to redo all the suspension and all that stuff. But I don't think it's not going to run. Supposedly the guy says it has a bad turbo. Who knows? Maybe it does. Maybe it's just blowing white smoke. Maybe it's got a bad head gasket. Maybe nothing's wrong with it at all. Maybe it just needs to be tuned up and cleaned.
Yeah.
I don't know. It does have a leak in the gas tank. I'm not sure why. So at the very least, I got to start the project by dropping the gas tank down and figuring out why it's leaking. Because we started jostling the car around. It started dripping basically turpentine out of the back of the car. But no, I'm super excited because the chances of finding 2 original owner 84 white Starions in my lifetime are
I think you've
absolutely
used that
wild.
up. I don't think that's gonna happen again.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. What else?
think this is
What else
definitely
was the
the end.
connection with the boat?
Oh, so the guy shows me the boat. He's like, "Do you want a free boat?" And I was like, "Absolutely not.
No, free
No
free
such thing
boats
as
are
a free
bad.
boat." Yeah, and I was like, and obviously this thing's been sitting here for longer than the Starion has. But he's like, "Oh, it's got a twin carbed 4-cylinder in it," and I was like, "Interesting. Show me, if you wouldn't mind." Because I was curious what the engine was. If it was something exotic, I'd be like, "Sure, I'll take the free boat," and I would have cut the boat up and taken that cool engine out of there. But we open the hatch up, and it's a twin carb B20 Volvo.
Yeah. Weird.
Which I was like, man, if only we had found this like months ago, I could have taken the whole carb and linkage assembly, and I could have taken the boat and sent it off to you for your Volvo. But obviously, did not do that. Yeah, it looks like the factory. What are they? Stromberg, something factory on the car.
Yeah, they would have been
Downdrafts.
the side drafts would have been in Strombergs or what's the other one? SUs.
They were not SUs because they didn't have the little plunger thing on them. So that was from Stromberg's. But nonetheless, yeah, so it was a B20, twin carb B20 in the boat. And I was like, that's cool. No, I don't want your boat. Unless I could take off like the distributor and the top of the motor parts. And he's like, no, I got to keep it together. So if somebody wants, they'll take it. I was like, no, I get that. I'm not going to worry about it. So, but yeah, so the car is mine. We got it home. Naomi is a trooper because she was here. She had to be up at 5 a.m., but she was here at 11:30, helped me unload it, and then helped me return the borrowed truck and trailer, and didn't get home till 1:30 in the morning. So she's, while we're recording, she's making up for that by taking a nap in the other room. So last fun part of the story, I think, is that when we got back here, I was trying to think of how to take it off the trailer because it won't roll, obviously. And I was like, I have the last purchase that I made that I wasn't supposed to make, that I made, that does run and drive. I can just tow it off with the Ram 50.
There you go.
So I used my off-road tow strap, hooked it up to the front, and Naomi backed up the Ram, and I steered down off the trailer and just pulled it right into the backyard.
Nice.
Threw a cover over it, and I'll look at it when I get back from the trip.
Nice.
So, yeah, it was a it was an adventure. It's always an adventure, but it was an adventure, and I'm it's the next day. Like it's been 24 hours since I got there. I got there a little before 7 last night. A little before 7 right now, and I'm still like energized by it. Like it's just the chances of that car being there and it being that nice are slim to none. I'm annoyed that it's that nice because I can't do my full on project, but also I'm stoked that's that nice because what are the chances? So super excited.
Yeah,
Super excited.
that's cool.
As a quick aside, I also had started working on the Corolla.
yeah?
Like I said I was going to, but then I got distracted by this thing. Um, I haven't pulled the head off yet, but the exhaust is all removed. The cylinder head is completely unbolted. The fuel lines are all off. I just have to pull off the coolant lines. I just ran out of time in the garage that night I was doing it. So that's also now going to sit until I get back. But that's where we're at.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did you see that Speed Hunters is officially dead?
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Yeah, it's a bummer. That was man, from like 07, like I really got into it around 07, like 07 to 15. I was real into it, and then I kind of fell out of it. But I would still look occasionally. But man,
I would say once every 3 or 4 months, I would look into it and like look back at what I missed.
But like, man, I mean, I remember being at a certain point just being bored at old jobs working at dealerships, just like waiting every day, like refreshing it, seeing if there's something new to look at.
Sure.
But yeah, it was like, what blows you away, if you weren't aware, it was owned by Electronic Arts
Yeah, it was basically a promotion for Need for Speed.
Yeah, and to like figure out what they should put in the games. And it just feels so crazy, like they somehow just kind of like maybe forgot about it and just let it go, and people made it really cool, and like it launched a bunch of people's careers as photographers. And I still follow a lot of people that I saw featured on Speed Hunters, and man, yeah, it's like a bummer that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, most famously, Larry Chen got a start taking pictures for Speed Hunters.
So
I was trying to think if we knew anybody who had a car feature on Speed Hunters, and the only person I could think of was Dave's Volvo.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I couldn't think of any others. But that's because we were East Coast and not a lot of East Coast guys. Oh, a former guest of the show, Paul. His Mercedes had a feature on Speed Hunters.
Okay.
His R129, whatever those convertible like 90s two-door Mercedes are.
Yeah.
He has the one that was on 1552 tarmac wheels with air ride. He had a feature on Speed Hunters. So it's 2 people we knew on the East Coast that had Speed Hunters features. At least. I'm sure there's more I can't think of, but
I think maybe I'm trying to remember. I think maybe I had a couple photos featured, like when they had like readers submissions.
they used to do the hashtag I am the Speed Hunter.
But yeah, it's a bummer.
Well, at the end of the day, it lasted longer than every other.
It did,
so.
but probably because it had some corporate backing. So it just, it was just like crazy that something so pure came from like just this massive corporation like EA.
It was almost accidental. Like you say, it's almost like they forgot about it and let it grow on its own. It had that corporate backing to start, and then it just became this line item that they paid every year and didn't think about. But it's $100,000 budget out of their $1 billion plan, and they just didn't even notice it until somebody went in there recently and was like, "Wait a second, what is this thing? This doesn't make us any money at all." 6 people a month look at this. Get out of here. So, R.I.P. the internet we used to know.
We didn't talk about, though, because we missed a week. Chicago Street Race and Sonoma now this past week. So back-to-back road courses.
So we didn't talk about SVG being SVG?
My God. What a maestro.
What do you think it is?
Why he's faster?
Why he's so much faster than every other road course ringer that's ever been brought into NASCAR. Formula One drivers have come in and not performed like he's driven.
I think he's
Other
used to that.
sports car drivers.
He's used to that style car. They're similar, and then just the skill set of the way he drives the car. I mean, they were saying on the Chicago broadcast that he actually asked them to stop showing his footwork camera.
Right. Doesn't want anybody to learn.
Because you
Well, guess what, sir? It's on the
yeah,
internet.
but you can hear it. You can hear it in the onboards. Just you can hear him rev matching, and just I guess that's just because most of them drive with 2 feet, which is fairly common. They drive like they drive karts. And I don't know. It just some of them can kind of get close, but not quite catch him. It's just like he like min maxes every corner, right? It's like just finding the max line everywhere, and he's doing that over and over again. I mean, they told him to slow down, I think, and he was like, "Nope, I got to keep going because if I
he's like, I don't want to slow
I'm in
down.
my
I'll
rhythm.
stop paying attention. I'll crash."
And he did. He made a mistake at Sonoma. He went off, but he recovered. But he's so far ahead.
I mean, what also you don't forget at Sonoma is that so they talk about flipping the stage, meaning you come into pit before the stage
that was
is over.
awesome.
And he drove back and won the stage anyway. Like normally you flip the stage, you finish 10th or 15th, and then everybody in front of you has to pit, and you start the next stage in the front.
It was awesome because he did it to Larson, and I was like, Larson's had a number of days where he's just smoked everyone. So just watching him get a little smoked himself was entertaining.
Yeah, Larson's had a bad year, a bad second half of the year. Anyway, I think he gets some bad juju after Indy.
Yeah, because he's got 3 wins, but so does SVG. He's won 3 road courses. So he won Mexico City.
Yep.
Then he won Chicago. He actually won the whole weekend, right? Am I thinking that?
In Chicago,
he swept the whole weekend. And then in Sonoma, Connor Zilch won the Xfinity race.
Who's also really
incredible,
fast.
18-year-old, incredible skill. And the 2 of them ran this past January. They ran the TF Sport Corvette for Trackhouse in sports car racing.
Right.
So that's what other people were talking about. There's just difference in Connor Zilch is being brought up, and he's being allowed to drive other things that aren't just NASCARs. So he's like having more of a skill set.
Sure.
And it feels like a lot of the criticism is that these current crop of NASCAR drivers have only driven Cup cars or Xfinity cars for their entire lives.
They've only driven ovals.
Yeah, but they're basically NASCAR specialists. They don't have multidisciplinary race car drivers like guys were in the 60s and 70s. And it kind of shows. A lot of them are really, really good on ovals, but throw anything else at them. The only one that's like kind of adaptable, but still only at ovals is Larson. Like he's probably the best Cup driver currently when he's good. Like when he's on
Yeah, there's a couple of Cup drivers that are good on the road courses too. And the problem with them is that they're not consistent like SVG is. Like as much as I hate him, Ty Gibbs is good on a road course, but he'll always make a critical error.
He's impatient
and wind up losing positions.
Adrian Allmendinger hasn't had good luck. McDowell is decent.
Nope.
What's his name? Ryan? It's not. Who's the Build Submarines car?
Brad Keselowski?
Nope. Brad. So it's another Brad. Or maybe it is Brad Keselowski.
Nope. Brad Keselowski's number 6. So sometimes it's him, and sometimes it's so they're both RFK cars, and they switch off the Build Submarine sponsorship. When it's the number 6 car,
he won last year at
Keselowski. When it's
Watkins Glen.
The 17, the number 17 is Yep.
See,
I know exactly who it is, but because you put me in a spot.
Yeah, but he doesn't perform that well week to week, so that's why I forget. Like he's not, but he got lucky, and he had a fast car at Watkins Glen last year, and he beat SVG barely beat him. So, I'm going to go to Watkins Glen this year again because it's like you got to go see this guy. This is a once in a generation talent here. So
Chris
Yeah.
Buescher.
he's the only one that's come close. And then last year, SVG definitely would have won Chicago, but he got wrecked in a stupid way. And Alex Bowman got lucky. But
I think he would have won the Xfinity race at Sonoma
Yeah.
as well. But the week previous, he kind of dumped Zilich
yeah,
at the end of the race
kind of
and passed him. And he definitely could have dumped Zilich at Sonoma as well. But I think he was probably like, it'd be a bad look to dump this 18-year-old kid 2 weeks in a row to win the race in a series I'm not competing for points in. So
plus their teammates.
I think there was a little
They're
bit
they're both junior motor.
yeah, a little bit of
So
gentlemanly
when they
contact.
run Xfinity, they're junior motorsports teammates. So yeah.
Mhm.
Although he gave a really cool thumbs up as he passed him and they were battling. And it's just like, all right, that's
Yeah.
cool. That's
Yeah.
like, game respects game, right? That's
Yeah, it's old
that's
school
the type
racing.
of racing. When people are like, what kind of race? That's the type of racing I like. I like watching. I want to see 2 or 3 guys battle. I want to I don't really care
Yeah.
necessarily who wins unless I don't like the driver for some reason. But if people are battling back and forth, making passes, running up on each other, like that is what is good about racing. That's what I like. Doesn't matter the time of racing.
Two racing drivers.
And-
two racing drivers racing each other respectfully is you know they're having a
Yeah.
good time. You think back to like when you're racing somebody on Gran Turismo and you're like battling lap after lap. You know you're having a good time and you're enjoying it. It doesn't matter if you win the race; you're enjoying that. That's obviously we don't have a real wheel-to-wheel
Yeah.
racing experience, but ratchet that to 1,000 because you're actually going to racetrack, enjoying that battle with the person who has an equal skill set to you is cool. And to see like the thumbs up when you finally get past him is like, all right, that's a sign of respect that he's happy with how he raced him. They're both having a good time. That was fun to watch.
And then after he went over and he shook his hand, gave him a high five or whatever, like that is what I want to
Yep.
see. And that's what, when people are like, oh, you don't like F1? I'm like, no, because it's boring. There's no racing like that. I want to just see guys
Yeah.
race each other. I don't care if the cars had 100 horsepower, if
Yeah,
they were
there's-
passing back and forth.
Yeah, well, that's like watching the Goodwood stuff when they run the members meeting and they have the Mini Coopers racing the Mustangs, and they're like, the Mini Coopers are 100 horsepower, but they dial them in the corners and try to get past them and block them. It's so much fun to watch. Like, it's good racing is fun to watch. It's funny because a couple races ago for F1, the two McLarens were battling each other, and everybody was like, man, this is the kind of racing we're looking for. And I watched the race, and I watched the race. I watched the battle of the two McLarens. And if it wasn't for the announcer who was just like hyping up what was happening, it wasn't that exciting of a race. There were like 2 passes.
Yeah.
So yeah, he passed him, and then he crossed him over and passed him again. Like, that, okay, cool. Now do that 30 more times, please. That's
And
what
then
racing
it was
is.
interesting too. Some of the commentary when you're watching Chicago, they were talking about how he's kind of been equalized on the other tracks, and then they go this week to Sonoma and he smokes everybody, and you're like, okay, especially like that is embarrassing. Like NASCAR's been going to Sonoma for 30 plus years. Like these guys are familiar with Sonoma. They know the track. They know how like
Yep.
the team should know how to set the cars up, and yeah.
Yeah, he's only been equalized when there was a strategy
Yeah.
error or a crash,
A bad pit stop or something.
and
Yeah.
usually not his fault.
Bums me out. Suarez is not coming back to Trackhouse next year. Hopefully he gets a ride.
I have a strong feeling we'll see him in Xfinity.
Definitely in Xfinity. Hopefully he gets to come back to Cup. I'd love to see him run some sports cars. That would be awesome.
Sure.
I'd like to see Trackhouse run a sports car team. They already run a Trans Am team, but they had a little foray this past January at the Rolex. So, and then the same weekend was Goodwood Festival of Speed, and Justin Marks, the owner of
Yeah, the hill
Trackhouse, was
climb.
running a Cup car up the hill. So in the Red Bull, yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
in the Red Bull livery. So they're definitely getting a lot of Red Bull money because I think Connor Zilch is also sponsored by Red Bull. So,
Yeah, he is. When he and SVG are out there together in the 2 Red Bull cars, it was a little hard to
yeah, I
differentiate.
This
sometimes.
reminds me, I want to go and order the race win diecast, the 164th, because if it's available. I don't if they licensed it. I didn't actually look because that was a good looking car.
Yep. Yeah, Red Bull, as a general rule, does a good looking livery.
Yeah, that was some good racing, and he's now in the playoffs. So, I am pretty sure that I have to check. I think Watkins Glen is actually a playoff race, maybe, or maybe it's one of the last races before the playoffs.
No, Watkins Glen is regular
Okay.
season.
So Roval,
but the Roval is round
Yeah, you
two
gotta get to round
of the
two.
playoffs. So he has to survive round one, which
three
is a pretty
wins.
good opportunity to do because he's got 3 wins and tons of playoff points from stages on
Yeah.
the road courses too. So he's got a pretty good chance of surviving the first round, making it to the second round. But honestly, Andrew, I would not
think
be the least
I-
bit shocked to see him at the very least do a top 5 at an oval. I think he might win an
I
oval.
think
this
he'll get
year,
a
too.
short track. He seems to be struggling with the drafting and picking that up, but at the Coke 600 recently he was doing really well Atlanta. He was at Atlanta and was doing really well and running up front in a drafting track, and then had that dumb wreck that took everybody out.
Get caught up in the accident.
And also this in-season bracket thing, I don't understand. It's so dumb, and like
Well, because it's made for
and the
gambling.
naming of the races when you go on TV are so dumb. It's like challenge number 3. I was like, what is this talking about? This is a NASCAR race, but
Yeah.
it's so silly.
Well, the entire sporting world has been taken over
Yeah,
by
tired of it.
Online betting, and that's part of what that is.
But yeah, I think the racing's been good. I didn't really talk about. I went to the I don't think I talked about the truck race at Lime Rock Park. It was decent.
yeah.
It was not, truck race guys are young. They weren't really doing a lot of challenging. Jordan Taylor was running up second for quite a while, but couldn't catch Corey Hertz, something.
Yep. Corey Haim, not Corey
Corey
Haim.
Yeah, he's like incredible in the
Yeah.
trucks. He's really fast.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he'll be probably Xfinity next year.
But it was decent. I think Xfinity race there would probably be more exciting. Maybe this is a stepping stone. Maybe they'll try that. But it was cool to see something different there, and I wish they'd bring back IMSA though. It's a bummer it's not there. But again, I'll have to go. I need to go out to Watkins Glen for IMSA. I just need to get there. So
Yeah, it's not conveniently close.
it's not super far, but it's not super close. It's like it would be the same if you were to drive to Laguna Seca, I think, or probably slightly further.
Yeah.
It's over 6 hours.
How long is? Oh, Laguna Seca is much further than that.
Yeah.
Laguna Seca is 12.
Oh, okay. So it's like going from your place to Long Beach.
It's like driving to LA.
Long Beach Grand Prix.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I'm going to Laguna Seca next month for
Yeah, you've
the
talked about that.
historics, but I'm not driving there.
yeah, I want to catch another IMSA race in person this year. I'm not sure if I'll get to one. Petit Le Mans is good, but it's busy time October. There's also World Endurance, which is going to do the Indy 8-hour in October. I'm like, that might be kind of cool. It's early October.
That'd be neat.
It's not that far. It's kind of cheap. Could probably fly out there pretty cheap.
Yeah, it's probably a super cheap flight.
But yeah, I don't know. I love racing. There's a lot of good racing going on.
Yeah, absolutely. I gotta decide if I'm gonna go to the Phoenix NASCAR race this year or not in the fall.
Yeah, I think that what do they guarantee it? 1 or 2 more years?
No, this is the last year of the championship race being
Well,
there.
it's last year of that. Maybe go check it
So,
out.
It's going to be a playoff
Yeah.
track for the next 10 years, I think. But for the final championship, this is the last year. It's going to be the championship race.
I will say,
So, which I understand. It's been there for a while. It's not the best of the tracks. It doesn't produce the
No.
best racing. It's good racing, but it's not the best.
I will say, they're not running Xfinity the weekend of Loudon. They're going to run trucks. I only bought tickets for the Cup race, but maybe I'll see if there's cheap tickets for the truck race. Because
Yeah, you could probably get day up tickets for the truck race.
that was kind of fun. And you usually get really cheap kids tickets. It's not far from where we are. Maybe I'll take Marco to that. Good way to kill an afternoon.
Yeah, it's really only a half hour from your place up there.
Yeah, it's
right?
really close.
Yeah. Sweet.
But anyway, is that a
Sweet.
podcast?
That's it. We did a lot
All
tonight,
right,
Andrew.
cool.
We talked about a lot of stuff.
Cool. All right. So as always, you can
Mostly
Yeah.
Stereons.
lots of Starion talk. So our I got to meet a new listener, Jimmy. He's got a Starion. He'll be happy, or his Conquest. He'll be happy to know that you got another Starion. I met him at the Marblehead
Yeah, I was
Marblehead
doing
Cruise-In last week, which is also really fun.
I was doing the math. By math, I mean adding them up in my head one by one. This is my 6th.
Yeah.
Starion.
He thought I had him. I was like, no, that's Brad. You got to talk to Brad. Anything you want to know about him, talk to Brad.
Well, yeah, this is number 6. And of the 6, 4 of them were drivers. One of them is being actively hill climbed right now in New England. I don't know if you've seen the video of the one that everybody called Barney, the purple car.
I haven't seen the video. I forgot to watch it.
Yeah, Dennis has it all done, and he's been hill climbing it up like a Scutney
Yeah.
and whatnot, which is super cool. The car sounds amazing, looks really good out there. And there's only one car that didn't get ever. So of those 6, only one car was never really used or finished by at least somebody in the circle. And that was I had a Palermo gray one that I think I paid $500
Yep.
for because I wanted some parts off of it.
I remember going to
that one.
get it.
Saugus, driving it home, the tires flying off of it. But that one got sold to like in Lynn. I don't think that car ever got finished, but that's not my fault. I didn't buy that car to finish that car, so we'll let that one slide. But yeah, no, I pretty much have not had a moment in my life since the year 2000 when I bought my first one, or 2001, where there hasn't been at least one Starion.
I've
in
managed
my
to never
ownership.
buy one.
Or Starion or Conquest,
So,
I should say.
I-
That's because every time I found them, I bought it. Didn't
I am
give you the
marked
opportunity.
safe from Starions. I actually found the white one on Craigslist and sent it to you.
You found the white 84, yeah.
But anyway,
So the
Yep.
first white 84.
yeah. Follow us at Off Topic Podcast on Facebook if you're still on there. Off Topic on Instagram. Haven't posted there in a while. We probably should.
Oh, I got
You
my
did.
Instagram back. That also happened the past 2 weeks.
I'm racing on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, kind of posting over there. Yeah, I keep meaning. I'm like, when I get like a 5-10 minutes instead of scrolling, I should post pictures of those hobby shops I went to, and maybe I'll do that tomorrow night or something. But all right, cool.
Well, now that we recorded this podcast, I will post a picture tomorrow morning of a couple pictures of new Starion, just for people listening can at least take a look at it if they're not in the Discord. If they are in the Discord,
Yeah.
I've already seen it. And if you're not in the Discord, send us an invite.
Sneak
I did
peek.
see somebody sent a request the other
I gave
day
it to him.
for an invite. Okay, good.
But all right, cool.
So,
So,
sweet.
as always, keep your cars analog. Use boat anchors, I guess, and aim for the roses.